How are you? Good to see you. I know Zoom's there and also Facebook. It seems to be on Facebook. All right. How's everybody doing? Good to see you. It's really nice to see you. And on top of that, most of all, I want to say you guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. And also another thing, one thing so nice about this whole process is that we all get to be together tonight. It's on Wednesday, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, when I say every Wednesday, it's always subject to. Now, here we go. It says we're live on Facebook. Now it's having that little weird thing doing its thing. Live video interrupted. Now, I have no idea why. I'm not sure. Well, at least now my IT guy knows what's going on. He's going to go in there and we'll have it, we'll reload it again, whatever it is. And we also do know that it is working very well on YouTube. Facebook has some issues with the API. I'm not sure what the API is, but it's having some issues with that. Also, another thing, there's a lot of things going on that we want to go ahead and look. And YouTube's doing fine, folks. We're right on it, just so you know. All right. Also, another thing, those of you out there watching, one's watching right now, go on YouTube. It's fine. Go ahead and chat. Those who come into the Zoom, you also can go ahead and go onto the link. I'm thinking about what I'm going to personally probably end up doing is go ahead and shooting down the Facebook. But for some reason, Facebook does not want to work anymore. It does. It works on another one system that I have, and what it does is it's a little smaller. But one thing about here on the Facebook Live right now, as it says, it's crazy how I don't know. It's weird. It just doesn't even, it's just sitting there saying like nothing's happening. So then it has a residual thing there. But one thing I want to go ahead and tell you is that everything that you see, everything that you hear, you can go to YouTube right now and see it live. Now it says save video, whatever it is. But based on this, I don't think it's going to end up working. So I have no idea. I wish I had someone on Facebook that was able to tell me how it looks, but I can tell you, seeing it myself, it's stalemated. So I have no idea. So I'm just going to delete it. It's gone. Adios. Hasta la vista, baby. All right, Facebook, you lose out. Unfortunately, the people don't get the stuff that you get to see. So let's get on rolling down the road, and maybe I'll be able to go ahead and fix something here in it later on. I might use the other system. I might stop using Zoom. I do not know. So, okay. All right, now we're going to go ahead and move on. Let's get over that spilt milk situation. Okay, let's move on down to Dodge City. Let's see what's really happening in the world of the corporate world and corporate credit. There's a lot of information I'm going to give you today. A lot of stuff you can use, but I don't really give you a lot of, when I say this, a lot of stuff is due to the fact is that what we're doing is we're working on the what do you call it, on the other area. So what you folks want to remember is that here today on the YouTube, yeah, hello, what's going on? But on YouTube, someone called, answered, they hung up. What are they doing? What is going on with them? All right, cool. All right, but anyways, so also another thing, notice my camera's not on. Why not? Who knows? So all I want to say is this. Let's get moving. Let's get going. All right, so now let's move forward, and I'm going to just change screens now for you folks to go ahead and take it where it is. There we go. There we go. And there we go. All righty, and we're going to go to here. Okay, there we go. We're going to go here. Okay, cool. All right, now. All right, here we go. All right, first thing I want to say to you, does your business really have enough? When I say enough, do they really have enough business resources to go ahead and make things happen? Now, one thing also I want to say to you on that particular note, does it also have any other things in itself that you can survive another time or arena, whatever it's going to go on? One thing I want to make you aware is this. Does your business have the resources to survive? 1 in 5 small businesses end their operations before their first year runs out. Now, I have some statistics all the way up to March of last year. They're going to blow your mind, but I'm not going to give it to you just yet. All right. Now, 1 in 5 small businesses end their operations before their first year runs out. Now, what does that mean? What do people usually run out of? And I've been saying this for a while. A lot of people don't touch this because it's probably a sensitive subject, but the facts are the facts. You run out because you didn't pay attention to what you were being taught, or what you were being taught, they didn't prepare you for the storm. See, the storm's coming. And the storm's coming and no one else is coming. What are you going to do? What are you going to do in the midst of chaos? The only valuable, we want to say, commodity in a pandemic that showed up last year, now you see a lot of side effects from it, is someone that in the middle of the chaos is cool. They say, okay, great. This is what's going on. This is what I'm doing. That is highly valuable, to have somebody on your team or management team that is able to handle what comes at them. Doesn't mean you're a robot. It just says, okay, this happens. I know what to do next. How many of you know what to do as soon as that COVID hit and money was tough coming in? What'd you do? What'd you start doing? Now, if you're a man, try to man up. Do it on your own. I'm tough. I'm all this. Come on. There's no way you're going to do anything on your own. I hate to tell you. You need a team. Why? Because there's only one of you. You need a team. But before that, the question I would have asked all of you out there that were on my team, does your business have the resources to survive? Great. What are you doing about it? What actions are you taking? All right. I understand when people start building their corporate credit in the beginning, that's the roughest part. Getting the scores. Getting the scores. Once you get the scores, then you can start doing something on the business side of it, the business score. Because what you want to do is you want to start beginning to go ahead and apply for your area of credit. Well, I'm going to go over a little bit here. But I really want to really look at this. Where are you going to be when all this epidemic ends? When this epidemic ends, how are you going to come out? What are you going to have on the table? How much corporate credit are you going to have to grow OPM, other people's money? You're going to have 50, 100,000, 200,000, a million? I mean, we have a course called The Millionaires in the Making. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in that course that'll definitely get you there in about 18 to 24 months for sure, at the longest. It could be sooner than that. A lot of you have stuff you've been working hard, building your credit, business credit, but you only have it on one level. What is, again, does your business have the resources to survive? Over 100,000 businesses went out of business last year. On the table now, there's 160,000 that have opened and closed and opened and closed. They predict out of those 160,000 that 100,000 like that are going to close. Why? It doesn't have to be that way. Or if it does, you have enough credit established in a way that if your company that you're doing business with is going to close, you can say, okay, no problem. I'm going to arbitrate, negotiate, and then if it doesn't work, then this last thing to do like everybody else. When I say everybody else, the Fortune 500, again, I got to say, Amazon, Bezos, he said, you know what? Eventually, Amazon's going to go bankrupt. So you went a little bankrupt before Amazon. Who cares? You did your best, you did your best. But the question is, what did you learn? Were you prepared to survive? Were you one of those small businesses in their operations before the first year you ran out of money? Or you were living on the edge, all hot and mighty because, hey, we got money coming every week. I'm going to pay the bills, save a little bit for the house, make that, whatever payments to the house and blah, 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 blah. Everyone's structured, everyone's happy. But every month you got to keep banging on that dollar. Do you think during the COVID-19, some of the businesses did not float off their money that still are in business? I mean, even the restaurant business or a bar business, I would have changed my license at least to serve some sandwiches. You know, burgers, hot dogs, maybe Chicago dogs, whatever. Baseball hot dogs, the best hot dogs cooked because they're cooked in a very secret, special way. I don't know. And they make a hole in the wall with a nice drive-through window and with a squawk box on the outside say, hello, how are you? And then you treat them the same way. See, a lot of people use the COVID as an excuse to get out of business because they got scared. Nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't mean you have to run. You get up and fight, and you fight, and you fight because there's a way to go ahead and make it work. A lot of people also destroy their personal credit. Oh my God, I got the stats on that too. Woo-wee. It's only because they've never taught this in school. I teach a little different than everybody else, and I think because when I have people call me, they go, "Wow, man, you said a lot of this," and boy, I'm like, they're like, "Wow, that's a lot to do." Is it really? We're here to help you. I tell you, you're not left alone. A lot of places leave you alone. In fact, I read a thing today. It's about business credit. You know, you're going to look at these videos and do this. Why you want to look at a video? You want somebody live you can talk to at that moment in the training. Okay, great. What about this? What about that? What about this? What about this? And I can answer the question. Do this, or we even do a live thing on some areas, how to go ahead and do it Dun and Brad and get it free and do it correctly where they don't call you. You don't want them to call you because the minute you get on the phone, they're going to try to sell you everything from a palm tree all the way to a crib. That's their job. So just remember this. This is a census. And the reason why I'm asking this now, because you're already in February. You already know where you're going. Is it in the directions you really want to go? Would you like to have a little more money? What would you do with $100,000 credit line right now? How would you advance your business? Think about that for a moment. A lot of you can do it in 90 days if you actually follow the stuff. And no one ever tells you this. In building your business credit, it takes an investment. It takes an investment. I don't care if you do it on, like, say, the shoestring budget, or you don't do it on a shoestring budget. You're still going to have to make the investment, which means you have items you're going to need to pay for in order to go ahead and get a score. Everyone thinks, I'm going to get a business. I got a tax ID. I got a DUNS number. Now I have the score coming. You ain't got nothing coming. Sorry, folks. Now you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to order from places. And you're going to have to make, when I say you have to, I mean have to. Your job from that point on is to make sure that your business get at least 3 to 5 items reporting experience in 1 month. If you get that, you got the score for 3 months. 1 month. But if not, it'll take you about anywhere from 30, 60, 90, maybe to 120 days. It's not that we're not doing our job, it's that you're not following the steps that need to be followed. And it's not a bad thing. Some people have the finances to do it, and some have to do it another way. But eventually they'll get there. Once you get the scores, that's the beautiful part of it. But my same question to you is, does your business have the resources to survive? Does your business have the resources to survive? And I don't mean just survive, because survival is horrible. I remember the days of surviving. Survival is like, yuck. See, this is one thing about business credit. When you get your business credit to a certain point, survival is no longer the option anymore. It's now, what do I do with the money? Because now they're going to take it from me. When you have your business credit and business funding taken care of, where you can get cards here and this, or credit lines, or whatever cash credit items, you got to begin to think, well, what am I going to do with these? You've got to know what you're going to do with them beforehand. Instead of, oh, I know what I'm going to do with it right away. No, you don't. Because if you did, you'd already have the business credit already gone. And gone means up and going. See, a lot of you is just a wish and dream and hope, maybe someday. There is no maybe someday. There's only right now. What did you do today to make sure that your business is building towards its resources? For me, I don't wait. I'll do whatever I have to do. I'll call who I have to call. But that's because of all the experience. Now I've done this before in the beginning. Oh yeah, way back when I started my own business in 1985, I got hammered all the way for almost 5 years. Oh yeah, it was not pleasurable. But I just want to let you know is this: does your business have the resources to survive? At least we're able to get the next income coming in. Now, once I say survive, if you have a business surviving, where now do you have a business? Where now do you have a business that allows you to take that money or take those cards and duplicate them, daisy chain them to where you can have the same amount of credit that your company that has the credit? There's a way to daisy chain it, but no one talks about that online. Nobody, excuse me, 2 people on the online talk about it. One other person, corporate credit blueprints, we talk about it. Because that's the most important thing. That's the greatest thing. Because when the wave hits, you don't panic because you know you're already set and ready to go. People think it's just one company. No, when you start building your first one is going to represent how much money do you want. If you have $100,000 on the first one, that means you can have $1 million all together. From the time you get $100,000 on your business, it's going to take you then possibly another 90 days to do all the necessary steps to get your $1 million or $1 million for your business. But the question I got to ask you, does your business have the resources to survive, even if you're able to get the $1 million, which means it's not survive like I can do the business. You got to survive the money now. One thing when it gets created, you create the $1 million, you've got to use it or lose it. Does your business have the resources to survive that kind of money? See, this is what no one tells you. This is no one educates you on it. This is what no one really says. You've got to survive that now. It's going to be, see, everything's a different survival. Also, when you say there's a consequence, people freak out. Oh my God, a consequence. No, there's a consequence if you make $200 million. There's a consequence if you only make $50,000. And there's a consequence if you didn't do what you did today to enhance your company, to grow in the financial arena, not bringing money in, building more credit. Bringing money in is fine, that runs out. But building credit keeps growing. And you keep adding money from the outside because your business has you grow, so you keep bringing the money. They go hand in hand. The thing is, the consequence of doing that is that you're either going to build or you won't. The consequence is never bad. The consequence is only a reflection of what you did or didn't do. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Most people can't handle, oh, well, I tried this. There's no try. It's either you did or you didn't. It's easier to live that way because I didn't do it. But, oh, God, I feel so ashamed. Why would you feel ashamed? You just didn't do it. See, this is a game you play with yourself. It's called mental masturbation is what you do. That stuff, in order for you to move forward in life, must stop. It doesn't get you anywhere. It disempowers you. No matter what you are, man, woman, Martian, whoever, it disempowers you from moving forward. There is no try. There is no next. There is no tomorrow. Because a person you want to speak tomorrow could pass away and move on to the next life. Their demise shows up. That was your contact, over with. Well, this got in the way. Nothing gets in the way when you really want it bad enough. Think of the time in your life, when something was really important to you, you blew off everything else. If you're truly up to really having a great business, you're going to do everything you can in one day that would you normally try to shuffle off in a week. If it comes down to money, then what is your plan to make this happen in this particular area? If you have a card, have you even thought of a division name yet? So you can call us, some of you that are with our program, and say, hey, I have one card now. What do I do? Then we can coach you on it and give you the information or we're doing a live call on Zoom so you can see what it's done, then you already can get started. There's things you can do every day to grow your business. Also, growing your business means, are you handling your personal credit? Are you repairing your personal credit? I know some of you out there already filed bankruptcy. I know it. Some of you are on that stats that I'm going to talk about. With that said, it's time to move on. Corporate credit blueprints. Corporate credit building credit cards, which means there's credit cards you can build with. One of them is Flying J. At corporate credit blueprints-blueprints.com, you can sign up. You can call. Hey, why don't you call and have a conversation with us? Say, look, I heard you on YouTube and blah, blah, blah. Next thing is this. I'm not going to give you any myths. I'm going to give you facts. So what's the difference between business credit and business funding? Business credit is like, I'm going to just call it the vendor credit area. This is where you kind of begin to build your thing. You build your thing. What's the thing? See, that leaves it so wide open. What the heck is a thing? Excuse me, get some water. Business credit is the vendor credits that you use to get your initial scores, or if you have the credit that is really worthy of having lenders giving you 5 different lines of credit at one time with the depth on it, you can get anywhere between $30,000 to $150,000. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. When I say nothing wrong with it, I don't like my clients to personal guarantee for a corporation. If they do, I tell them the minute you do, the day you receive your card is the day we start planning for your exit strategy for getting out of those cards as a co-signer and leaving some of the credit lines there. That if that even means we're swapping out with another card for another card to pay it off, that's fine. It gets you out of the hook. I do not want you in there more than 18 months, 24 months tops, because everything happens in 90 days. When you personal guarantee the cards, you especially don't want to do Capital One that way. They report on both. But the thing is that what you're looking for is when you're going to do that, what do you have that's going to generate the money? Do you have enough? Would you have your advertisers going to generate it? Whatever you're going to do, is it going to generate money? The reason why I say that, so whatever we're going to do to get you out of this situation is that we want to know, because of the fact we start setting up for particular lenders so we can start giving you the keys to the particular credit card kingdom or the credit line kingdom to where you can get the information done straight. And there's some other areas that we also have you take care of as well while you're doing this process. Business funding now is where you're getting the funding strictly on the business with no tax returns, $50,000 and below. Who cares if you have $10,000, $50,000 credit cards or $10,000, $50,000 credit lines? That amount of money is still the same. By the way, what if I tell you again? If you had a way to daisy chain that, would that be a little more? Just a thought, okay? Just a thought. Now, we work on credibility. A lot of people don't understand what credibility really means. Now, you mean, oh, credibility means this, this, and this. In the business world itself, not the personal credit world, it's a whole other kind of credibility. It's actually reversed. But the credibility as our clients complete step 1. See, they finally know that they have a credible business that the lenders will want to lend to. I have a client now that's been in business for 17 years on the West Coast with no credit score at this time, but a business experience score. He had an 85, now it's down to 11. Why? Because he didn't pay on time on some things. But I want this credit, this, that, and the other thing. Plus, he doesn't have a website. How you like that? No website. So they want to blame you for what they didn't do before and have you fix up the mess and think they're going to get that. Now, fix up the mess, we can take care of the spilt milk. But look, if you're going to do this, you got to pay your bills. And it's easy to get that stuff taken care of. But one of the things I'm saying, If you don't do your end, I can't do mine. If you're going to build an automobile and you say, deliver me the engine, and they don't deliver the engine, what good is a Maserati? What good is it's as good as a Volkswagen then? Might as well put a Volkswagen in there. What I'm saying is that most people don't realize you have accountabilities and investment to make in your business. And it's an emotional investment. It's a financial investment. It's an investment, okay, great, like honoring and having more relationship with your word. When you say you're going to do X, you do X. All this stuff shows up in making your money. Nobody even talks about this. The reason why we talk about it, because it does make a difference. When you have a relationship with your business, that business should be your intimate relationship almost. In fact, those of you who are married, those of you who have boyfriends or girlfriends in a relationship itself, they should be jealous of your business. They should be jealous that you spend more time there with me and building this credit thing they don't understand, but yet they're reaping the rewards from it. You might want to sit down and educate them a little bit. Hey, baby, come and sit down here because let me tell you, this is what goes on. This is what we're working for. This is why we're able to get that car. This is why we're able to get the business card. This is why the business took care of the business information that we needed. This is why the business did this. This is how much the business is paying me because you're going to be working for your business. Step one completes everything. Step one means you have a score. You have a DUNS number score. You now have at least 3 or 4 things reporting to your business consistently now every month because you're going to have gas cards. I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of people say this is crazy and I don't care. What do you say? I'm happy, go lucky. Your attitude is sucky and I don't care. My grandmother used to sing it to me long ago. Well, long ago. Anyway, still remember. So what I'm saying is that if you don't have 4 different gas cards, in fact, I did a training for our people because I thought I was going on. I thought it was on a particular day, and I recorded it, and I talked about why if you want to move quick, this is where you want to do. This is where you want to be. This is what you want to do. Get the Pilot J credit card, the gas card. Next, go for the ARCO. Pay the $500 and get the $1,500. They'll double. They'll give you 3 times the money, or you can go up to $1,000. That's $3,000, whatever it is. Well, I can't afford it. Put the $500 and learn how to leverage your money. Learn how to leverage it. There's a way to leverage it. So every month, when instead of taking $500 again, you take $400 and add $100 of money that you made from your business and add it to the $500 and pay the $500. There's ways you can do this so you can get that. So that'll be 2 cards automatically. Well, hold on a second. What about Crown? Crown's another one you're going to pay a fee to. But you're going to pay a Crown office supply. You're going to pay it anyways. You're going to buy products like going to Quill. If Quill approves you, you're going to get $1,000. And then on top of that, what you're going to end up doing is that you're going to spend $75 to $100. So why not give someone's going to give you 3 times your money back that's going to report on all 3 bureaus? What you're looking for is the 3-fers: Business Experian, Dun & Brad, and Business Equifax. Credit Safe is another thing. SFPE is another thing. But you want those 3 major ones. And then, how did you set up your business? How did you set it up with Dun & Brad? How did you go ahead and set it up where they give you a number that shows that what kind of business you are? Did you show yourself as a high risk? It's all how you do it. When you create your line of defense, that all doesn't matter anymore. It's your main building company that's building the business credit you're looking forward to. That's what you're looking for. Even in the personal credit side, we work on the personal credit side because when someone comes in, when they come in on the millionaire package, we work with their personal credit because here's the deal. You're going to need to be the CFO one day and sign for $5 million. Anything less than that, I just say it's dumb. You don't need to do anything less than that. You don't need ever to sign for any vendor credit. Don't ever do that. All right? Not even if they want you to do PG, no thank you. You can develop your business to where you don't need PGs unless you start getting up to the millions, like $5 million. But then even then, no one tells you. If you structure your organization right, you can do many things. Do you realize a corporation could go ahead and co-sign for another corporation? Just telling you. Another thing we tell people is this. You need to get your business LexisNexis and get your personal LexisNexis report. You need to find out on that report what is inaccurate. If you have a birth date that's inaccurate, you need to get that report and correct it. Even though I just started my business, your business has more on there than you think by now. Get your business LexisNexis. You dispute everything on the business LexisNexis. What is not accurate. Some things are so old they can't verify it anymore. It's still on there because you left it on there. You're going to need this report so clean to help you build your business. You're going to find stuff on there that shouldn't even be on the business part of it. Now, since LexisNexis is in the United States, there's rules they have to follow. Dun & Brad doesn't have to follow the rules because they're not in, the main office is not in the U.S. They're not regulated by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. But LexisNexis has the regulation on them because they're in the United States. You're going to be surprised. You want to understand disputing the errors in your LexisNexis report on personal and business. You review your report for any derogatory information. I'm not giving you the template. Use the template. Now, when you're a student, you get the template. But part 2 letter 1 to dispute each item. Then you send the letter to LexisNexis. All I want to let you know is you've got to begin to take account for your business and your personal life as well. I don't care if you claim bankruptcy. You still want to get the LexisNexis report and start looking to see what it is. This is when you know you're really serious about getting up to the millions. I'm not talking so I was going to say 100 million. I'm not talking about $1 million too. I'm talking 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, $100 million. Yes, what I'm talking about. Do you think the big companies that get that money, you don't think that the whole foundation of the owner must be as clean as possible? Even if you don't PG something, they're still going to look at you when you start going for bigger money. Even if you have a corporation, personal guarantee, another corporation, they're still going to look at the founder. Yes, folks, these are the little tricks. I don't want to say tricks. These are the actual strategies that actually why people can get credit the way they want as you begin to build deeper and deeper. See, I'm not talking the small stuff. The small stuff that don't do it. That's fine. Leave us alone. But if you're in the Millionaires Club, you make an agreement to do this. Why? Because we're not really stopping at $1 million. The Millionaires Club we have the work of being a relationship to your word, relationship to money. We dig in to see what your relationship to money is. You'll be surprised what really happens. When they come out of this, they're so transformed about not only themselves, but their business, their money, and everything. I just want to let you know that this is the little stuff that makes a difference in the big picture. This little stuff makes a difference in the big picture. If you're going to just stay at I'm just going to just get $50,000 here, $10,000, $50,000 over here, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. You can build up to $500,000. You can build up to $1 million. That's fine too. I'm just saying when you're going to start going for the bigger stuff like the big boys, if you take care of it now, it'll be a lot easier than when you stay in the future. Man, you know what? I'm at 2 million and building my credit without this next thing. I'm ready to go to the next step. Well, you're going to have to do this anyways. Just letting you know. And for those of the guys that talk about, you don't really need all that. Really? Let them go get $10 million in one shot out of their business. They won't be able to do it. They don't have the LexisNexis, I'm telling you, is the devil of the credit world. It is the Satan of credit world. What do you do? Now, if you don't want to do it, I can't say you're not going to make it. You can still do your business credit, not a problem. As long as you don't go over the $50,000 and keep applying, keep your thing going. That's perfectly fine. But your personal credit, same thing. If you're going to keep building on it and you have some junk on LexisNexis, I can tell you, I'm going to put it up now. on Sunday. I got to look for it again. I have the credit report where they pulled, denial letter. That's right, I got to find that. I have a denial letter from a creditor that has Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And guess what? LexisNexis. And I said, I cleaned that up. What are they looking for? I went back to because you can go online and look at your report once you get it. And it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, just your time. So what happens from that point on, I went and checked on it, and they have this address out. No, this address on it I have never had in my life. And how that address was flagged with something. Somebody's had to go and do this, do that, da. And I got a notice today it was done. It was taken care of. So I'm telling you, folks, I am not kidding you. When you start dealing in a lot of money, applying for money, you're going to need some other areas cleaned up to go ahead and make sure you're solid, because you're going to be the CFO and the CEO, the founder of your organization. You want to be as clean, squeaky clean. I don't care if you file bankruptcy. Don't worry about all that. That's going to be fine and dandy. Another thing about building business credibility is one thing, almost all lenders keep their underwriting guidelines secret. Now, this is, when I say this is true, unless you actually get to build a relationship with an underwriter. When you build a relationship with an underwriter, what happens is that you can call and talk to them. And especially when you get the cards, start getting your cards, you're going to find out they're backed by, not by, first you get a Shell card, it's not backed by Shell. Shell has a bank that has a lender on it, on the back of the card that says who's backing it. You have now the right to call them and ask them questions. This is what you learn in class 2. You learn more than just building. You learn how you can go ahead and establish a mountain. I mean, a Mount Everest, or maybe a Tower of Babel. I don't know. But you can go as far as you wish. Now, another thing is, even we help our clients to secure merchant accounts. Now, a lot of people understand about merchant accounts. Even if you don't have, there's merchant accounts out there. 5-star. In fact, another thing I said in the report, 5-star merchant account. Yeah, it costs you like $59 to sign up, and like, yeah, there's a monthly fee with the merchant account itself. But here's the thing: you get a credit line. Those of you that have good credit, you'll at least get 10 grand if you're over 680. And it's a soft pull, not a hard pull. Their agreement is that you want to charge your stuff through their thing and so on. And it's not how many charges you have right now, because you don't have a merchant account. That's cool. They're just telling you set it up. Yeah, they're going to get a monthly fee. Find out what it is. See if you can deal with a monthly fee yourself. Just remember, all this stuff's a write-off. But here's the thing. You're getting a credit line. If your credit score is 300, yeah, you get $200 credit line to begin with. Then if you start using the merchant account, they'll give you more. Or you're in the middle. What's the other one? 680. I think 600. 600. You get around. Yeah, you get around maybe almost 800, 900 bucks. But you start getting a 660, you get about almost 2,000. All I'm telling you is that that's another reporting thing you have to build credit for your business. Even if you don't have a credit score, you can go to 5-star. Another thing I told when I did the class that I told you nobody showed up for the class because I did it on the wrong day. I started laughing, going, "Well, I'm not gonna text them. They know what time to be there. 2 o'clock Eastern time. We start every Thursday." Because I was working on Thursday project, and I forgot it was Tuesday. So I went on there and did the whole thing. Another one I was talking about Divvy for business. Man, go on Divvy. Divvy will take care of that too. They're always going to ask something from you because they're giving you credit, but they want something back. I think Divvy, you have to set up the account. They want to see how much money you have in your account. They ask for your checking account information. They do a what do we call a run through and see, because Divvy would like you to have their business, which means they would like to go ahead and have you use that card because it sees what you pay your bills with, and to pay the bills through the card and put the money on the card to pay the bills. Like American Express. So there's so many things to do things in so many different ways. And let me tell you, if you did 5-star, if you did Divvy, if you did the BP card, and you did the Pilot J, and you did the Crown Office Supply, there's your number right there. Yes, you're going to make the investment. Remember, 5-star, you pay $59.95 and see if you can handle the monthly service fee for having the merchant account. Now, add those two together. No, that's the only one-time fee. I'm sorry. Then if you can do it every month, let's say it turns out to be, I don't know, $89 a month. Well, you're going to order $75 from Quill. You're going to order $75 from Uline. You might order $200 from Granger because a little more toys. So what's the difference? I'd rather have that and have a credit line. Hold on. Then you go to Divvy. Same thing with Divvy about the credit line. They want you to use their Divvy thing to pay business with, which means you put the money in there. And there's a reason. I'm not getting into the reason why they want you to, because every bank has a reason why they want to leave the money in there. Then you have the processors, the 5-star. You have the Divvy. All right. Then you have the BP card. And then you have the Crown. Crown, you're going to pay $89 or something like that. I think it's $89 or $149. You're going to pay them anyway. So again, you're going to order. That's one-time fee. Then you have a small monthly fee after that. The monthly fee keeps them reporting to Dun & Brad, Business Experian, and to Equifax, folks. You're still going to make the payments, so it doesn't matter. At least you're seeing some reporting done. Everyone has their own way to do the reporting. But at least you have 5 every month. You know are going to be doing the same thing every month. You don't have to worry about buying anything. You already got the monthly service fees you're going to pay. You should check those things out to see. Now, step 2, the fundability. Our financing suite is one of the highest quality systems in the world that combines both business credit building and the acquisitions of cash funding to ensure our clients can get more money quickly for their business, even with personal credit challenges, which means this. If you have personal credit challenges, who cares? I'm going to tell you one thing right now. As of March last year, 2020, just before the COVID got started really rumbling, okay? There were 760,000 people that filed for bankruptcy in March 2020. That's before the COVID. What do you think the number is now? We'll find out in March what it is. 760,000 people filed for bankruptcy. Now just think about that. Think about that. That was before COVID. That was before COVID started. That was before COVID even started. March of 2020 is when that number came out, rolling from last year all the way to March. This year is going to be way higher. Now, one thing, the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because, look, if you have a bankruptcy, we can get the bankruptcy off. Like, no kidding. We can get the bankruptcy off, like, no kidding. Those of you looking at building business credit, you can now work on both. You have building your personal credit and do your business credit. If you don't have the wherewithal right now, which means you don't have the funds, then you can get into building your personal credit so you can go ahead and get the funds to go ahead and invest in your business. But it means you don't use the credit card to build your business. You use the money to invest in your business. And we'll explain more about that later. But once you get your credit straightened up, we can get that off. You get yourself straight, and guess what happens? Then you can start and building your corporate credit, because now there's things you can do. You might even get your credit to a point, guess what? To where you have the 680, the 720 score that you can go in and guarantee the business credit from anywhere from $30,000 to $150,000, all right? Then you can use that to build your business. And then from that point, we're going to start working on a plan to get you out of it. See, this is what I'm saying. When you have a well-foundational organization that's been through this. I've been doing this since 1985. I've been through all the hoops and ups and downs and all around. All right. Even I filed bankruptcy before. Well, I'm not even ashamed of it. Why? Because it happened. What are you going to do? I just couldn't swim above water. But then I didn't realize how to take it off at all. I think 7, 8, 9 years. I had to go through the whole thing. Then it finally disappeared. But I began to learn from that and found out later on how to go ahead and do it. And we figured and we tried it out with, of course, I tried it out with my, use the family first. So I used the family, this and that, and then found out, come to find out, what? The courts don't report? Oh my gosh. And there's a way to get something from the courts, blah, blah, blah. And all this other stuff, and you get it and you're done. And you get it off. We send you everything you need to be done for you. We do all the work. You got to do the mailing because we can't go ahead and some things we just can't sign. Some things you're not going to sign. All I'm telling you is this: there is a remedy for everything in life. If it's your personal credit, because I don't have 2 wood nickels rubbed together, then let's get your personal credit straightened up so you can get a couple of nickels to rub together. It's not that, but I'm telling you, folks, it is really, if you really want to know about both or one, call, because now this is the time for those of you that filed bankruptcy. Give us a call. We'll get it off. So, because that's like an open wound on your credit report every month that it shows when you try to apply for this, apply for that, maybe an apartment or a loan or a house, whatever you're looking for. Y'all know what I'm talking about, that file BK. Y'all understand that. Now we can go ahead and clean it up. All right. Now, next thing is this. You got to plan on the problem. There's always something that's going to go wrong. Safety credit is the line of defense. This is what we want to show you what it is. Safety credit is the line of defense for you, for your family, personal and business. Business credit is the most powerful line of defense you can have that will separate you from your personal credit. Once you get your personal credit, you're going to want to make sure both of these stay pretty and clean. Why? Because you're going to learn how to eventually leverage that so you can go ahead and make things happen. So you're no longer, you become the head and not the tail. You become the head and not the tail. You don't become the servant. It serves you. You don't serve it. See, a lot of you get behind the relationship on money. You look at money as a weapon, but instead you've turned it into a spear against you because you use it in a way, your personal credit, you use your personal in a way that's going to get you in a jam. You think, oh, I got $100,000, I can go do this and that. Now you only have $10,000 left. How are you going to leverage that? You already blew 90,000 of it. Then in your report, your whole score is going to go down. But all I'm going to tell you is that when you begin to, it's a fun game. It really is, because you do this, you're doing that, and you'll be able to do this, this, and this, because you learn the art of leveraging. You learn the relationship with money. You learn to make money your servant. You learn to become the head and not the tail. A lot of you are a tail building your corporate credit. No, you're going to be the head of building your corporate credit. And it's not a bad thing. It's just something that they never teach in school, how to go ahead and have the relationship with money that empowers you to move forward. See, what you want to do is begin to transform your way of being, your way of thinking, the way you handle it, how you look at money, how you operate with money. You're going to transform it like a caterpillar climbs up, cocoons itself, and comes out a butterfly. You're never going to go back to the old way because you're now a butterfly and you can't go back. Now, it's just kind of like this. A tree is always a tree, no matter what you do. But you as a human being can always transform something if it's painful enough. Don't let it get that painful. Get out of the painful mode. Learn that surviving is not the way to go anymore. Learn that you want to survive because you have a lot of corporate credit or business credit. I need to know how to survive this so I don't lose it. You don't use it, you lose it. Now you got to survive having that kind of money. Isn't that awesome? Instead of trying to figure out how you're going to go ahead and survive to go ahead and get the next meal. Okay? No, you're not going to have my dog for your meal either. All right, cool. All right, now, also another thing, we have decoded a lot of this stuff. See, that's live. You get to go, that's live. I don't know, I had the dog underneath the bed. So anyways, but the thing, we've decoded the whole process for you. It's easy to follow and all bite size. Put it this way. There's going to be a point in time that our staff won't be able to handle the people that we have. Then they're going to have more staff. But the thing is, the interesting thing is that you're never going to get let me back up again. Rarely and very far and few between will you ever get a pre-recorded document. See, this is live, then we're going to leave it up on YouTube. We're going to put it on Facebook. But since Facebook keeps kicking us out for some reason, I do not know. All right? I do not know why they do that. So one of the things which you want to talk about is knowing that you have many things to go ahead and create things, and you get the program live. So as you can tell, we have a kennel in our house. Kennel in our house. Isn't that great? It's a kennel in our house. It's a kennel in our house. I love the kennel. Now, with that said, someone said what? Oh, my mic went off. Sorry about that. That's weird. All right, cool. Anyways, so you have any questions, schedule a consultation. Here's what I'm saying. If you don't even have a conversation about really what's next in your life, how do you know? How do you know about that? Now, I know some of this stuff, a lot of you probably don't go as far as this, but when you go as far as this, there's a lot you can begin to learn for yourself. Now, another thing is this: borrowed money is not taxable. Remember, borrowed money is not taxable. The money is not taxable. The money you spend, the money you have, all that good stuff is not taxable. Borrowed money is not taxable. So guess what? If you have money and it's borrowed, it's not taxable. It's not taxable. What I want to let you know is this. That's the beauty of it. You have $1 million, it's not taxable. Borrowed. Borrowed money is not taxable. This is the power behind OPM. I'd rather have $200 million that is borrowed, that's not taxable, knowing what I'm going to do with it and use it, and then generate on top of that. So for every dollar I spend, I get $2 back. That's the big difference. Big difference when you realize that you can get that back. And the next thing is this. You want to know how to go ahead, that since borrowed money is not taxable, guess what? Guess what you can do? Oh my God. So borrowed money is not taxable. All right? Remember that. Borrowed money is not taxable. Don't spend money. Loan money. Again, become the head and not the tail. Become the head and not the tail. Now, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Business opportunities are in the small details. Let me ask you, if you're able to have a line of credit for $50,000, you can loan it out 5 times. The payment right now on that is like, well, about $650, but 612.26. What you do now is that you loan it out, all those lines, and we actually show you what to do, how to do it. It's up to you. We're not here to be your attorney. We're not here to be your counselor. I mean, you're what do you call it? Financial advisor. We're not here to be your tax attorney or tax, what do you call it? CPA. But we have the agreements. We can give them to you. We'll give them to you when you join. See, when you join a certain program and get to the certain point, that's when we give you the documents. Take them to your attorney, go over, do what you want with them. But here's the beautiful thing about this. You now have a line of credit that you only pay $612 for, and your net per month on the net, okay, is $2,400, $30,000 a year roughly, or $29,000. All right. This is where you begin to realize borrowed money is not taxable, so I'm going to loan it out. Now you're going to make some money. How much did it cost you to go ahead and make $2,400 in a month? It cost you how much? $612. Worst case scenario, because I suggest that you only lend on houses, and it has a certain LTV that you might want, maybe 0.70 or 0.80, depending on what you're looking for. All right. Now, with this said, at least you know if anything happens, you have the 612, but you now have a house that you can go ahead and be able to what? Take it back if you need to, or work something out, or whatever you got to do. They might have something you want. They might have, maybe they own a restaurant and it's working, it's doing good. You know what? Let me tag your restaurant for a while until you pay me back. Or better yet, give it to me, I'll forget about it. Whatever. I'm just saying, I'm just making stuff up like this for yourself. But this is actual real. We're real right here. It costs you $612 and you make $3,000 a month. So it costs you roughly what? How much it cost you a year to go ahead to make roughly $29,000? What does that cost you? Anybody know? What does that cost you? Cost you $612 a month, right? So how much would that be a year? About almost $7,400, $7,400 to make 30. And then you get write-offs on top of that. Whoa, you get to take off the top. Yes. This is why, again, OPM, other people's money. Now, this is where you start learning the line of defense. Oh my gosh, I'm going to sneeze. All right. Okay. Again, this is not legal or accounting advice, but the purple is where you're going to build your business credit. Down here, this is where the line of defense comes in. This is where if anything happens, you're going to start learning to do your business down here in the line of defense area. The red one could be real estate. The other one could be a restaurant. And this one could be leveraging your money. This leveraging money, it leverages the money so you can use, maybe because these credit cards you have a lot, you have $1 million, so you're going to have to go, okay, my gosh, I got to go do this, I got to go do that. So you start leveraging out. So you start using it and moving it around. Now, remember this. See, what if I tell you this? Let's say now you have $100,000 in the purple. What if I tell you on the $100,000 in cards, you might be able, about 80. So you have $100,000 in cards, but you can move $80,000 here. You can tell them, like you tell a family, hi, Staples, I'd like to go ahead and get a card for my subsidiary or DBA or doing trade line business name, or DBA doing business as, whatever they call it in your state. Now the thing is, or whatever the lender calls it. Some lenders call it parent-child. So now what you do is you go ahead and they give each one of these a card. But there's a way to build it, so you keep building it. So now when this 80,000 of this money you have here, now you're going to have 80,000 down here, 80,000 here, 80,000 here. Well, I know this much. I would like to have that myself, because guess what? 3 times 80,000 is, you all know what it is. It's $240,000. It's $250,000 for you. Now what you're going to do? What you're going to do? What you're going to do with all that money? Okay? Now, one of the most beautiful things you want to understand is this is what we teach you. We set you up to win. Even when you lose, you win. What I mean by that, let's say one of these have to go bankrupt because it's just not going to make it. Well, guess what? This is set up to the way it won't affect anybody. So if you BK it, it's all done perfectly fine with no problem whatsoever. And guess what? You still have the credit lines going around, and even the good pieces, you'll learn how to move the good pieces over before you file the BK, because the fact is now you can go ahead and save the good pieces and get rid of the junk, as long as you learned of what you did before. This is the stuff that we teach you. Now, you're going to learn about your SS form. You're going to learn how to set up the line of defense because of the Social Security number. You're never going to bring the pain home again, no matter what shows up, what COVID shows up. I don't care if it's COVID 222. The bottom line is that nothing. Even when you lose, you're going to learn that you're going to win. That's what you're all were looking for. When COVID came around, wouldn't it have been nice if you had things set up like this? Wouldn't it be nice if you would have had this set up, the money down here? Your restaurant didn't make it because you weren't prepared financially, mentally, emotionally, socially. You're always thinking, I'm going to bring money in all the time. People are going to still come in. They shut you down unless you had a window. Well, if you had the money, you could go build the window. But then maybe you borrowed the money from the family and friends to get a window. But the thing is, now you borrow the money, you can't pay them back because the restaurant didn't make it. Here's what I'm saying. When you learn the line of defense, you will never lose in the game. You might lose a piece, but you win because you have pieces you can take that will also enhance other areas. But this mother one, the purple one, never does any business. Your building corporation should, or business, whatever you're building your business credit to, should never, never do business. Only the line of defense, which these little divisions down here. If you want a company in your name, down here you can do it all day long. Because remember, debt follows tax ID. Debt follows tax ID. Debt follows tax ID. Debt follows tax ID. Okay? This are things you want to remember. I know it sounds a little goofy, but oh well. All right. Now, again, this is what we teach you, the value of this, knowing how to do it. Now, also since the COVID, we have one of our students, they filed it in the, they did the paper, because now you have to do it paper-wise. They don't do it online anymore because somebody ruined it. The thing is, now you got to sign and send in the SS form, and they'll do it then, but it takes a little while. So you got to be patient. All right, now, all we want is, like I said, learning the steps. All we want to do is repackage your whole life from your personal credit to your business credit so it all matches. So you have an 800, 820, 790, 780 personal score on an average of at least over 720 and above on all your 3 core credit reporting agencies. And then on your business credit, you have your 85s and 90s on your business Equifax, business Experian, Dun & Brad. These are the things you're looking for to do so you can move powerfully. So then also you're going to learn the relationship you really have with OPM. Like we showed you earlier, borrowed money is not taxable, and you paid $7,000 to go ahead and make $7,400 to make $29,000 in a year, and it's backed by real estate. Whatever you want to do. I say that's what I do because that's the quickest, easiest thing to do. That's my world. Now, like I said, your future to your freedom and dreams. Here's one thing. If I didn't make it clear that you can have whatever you wish, even if your credit's so bad, it's just, in other words, just so ugly, that you have a credit score of 100, even though the lowest, I believe, is, I think, 300. But they show up at 100. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Call us. If you can't afford to do both, then let's get your personal, because that's the easier side, easier and the least expensive side to do. Then we start building it to get it to a point. Okay, great. You know what? Here you are. What do you want to do now? Because you'll have the funds then to go ahead and invest in your business. This is where you're going to get 10 times your investment back in building your business. Now, business with credit and cash, you can succeed. Whether it be American Express, Visa, MasterCard, you'll have all kinds of options of cards, fleet pricing, all kinds. It's your time now. Those of you that filed bankruptcy, not a problem. Come and just give us a call. Just talk to us. See, we don't want you to put all your eggs in one basket. See, this is now a whole different environment. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. This is the reason why the line of defense is so awesome. This is one of the reasons why if your credit's all jacked up and you're even ashamed to go ahead and call someone and say, oh, I'm really bad. Who cares? I don't care. I was there. I mean, yeah, I understand how you first felt. I got it. But now it's like, you know, you have Donald Trump doing it. I mean, when I say doing it, it's the business, folks. If you want to set your business up where it succeeds, and plus all your eggs in one basket. A lot of people tried to use their personal credit during the COVID-19 when it first started out, and they put all the eggs in one basket to try to get a business going that was never going to make it on the personal credit because the fact you didn't have the energy or the juice behind you, which the corporate credit, when you build it, gives you the juice because you have everything done correctly. You will be able to get, hey, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. Anything more higher than that, you're going to need tax returns. But you stay in that ranges. Let me ask you, there's all kinds of ways you can get things done. And a lot of you could have saved your business if you had, let's say like I said, you had those 3 daisy chain, and let's say you had 500, so you have $500,000 in your company that was building. Well, let's say you were able to get 4 million reported on each one of those. Well, what's 4 million times 4? That's would have been what? 1.6 $400,000 reporting, $400,000 reporting on the parent and the divisions. That would have been total of 4. That would have been 1.6 million. What would you have done with that to save your business? All your baskets, your personal credit wouldn't have been destroyed. But if your business couldn't have made it, you would have had your business set up to where that piece could be disjointed, disconnected. You could arbitrate, negotiate, and then you can go ahead and incorporate. And then guess what? Then you bankrupt it. Be done. You take all the good pieces that are left there and you move it over. How do you do that? Come and learn. So I just want to let you guys know. It's too risky when you're using your personal credit to build stuff. It's all right to make an investment once in a while and not to use 25% more than your money. Use 25%. That's where it gets you. That's where it gets you. I had 11, 12, I had 14, 12 inquiries removed from on personal side on Experian. The score only went up like 5 points, but it's not bad. And then one of the utilization is over the 25%. It's like 33%. They ding me for that. So I know what I have to do. Either go ahead and get a utilization higher, or go ahead and pay down the card. Either one. So I got to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to go to a jewelry place where they give you the credit and give you $15,000, and I pay almost $200 to go ahead and get $15,000? What do you think will be worth it? $15,000 would change that whole utilization across the board. All right. But anyways, these are the stuff that we work with and we do here. We dance in the whole thing because I've been there, done that. I wear the t-shirt. And I don't, it's, hey, if you got, I say, okay, great. They I had people call me today, well, you know, I have a bankruptcy. I said, cool, that's exciting. Why? Because we get to take it off. You know, life's exciting. This turns you now, you can begin to see the light. You can be the head, not the tail. Oops. So all I'm just saying is I want to say thank you, folks, for being here. I'm so excited you're here. Also, another thing is that, like I said, we've been doing this whole thing for 30 some odd years. Again, I made a mistake, but it's corporate credit, www.corporatecredit-blueprints.com, www.corporatecredit-blueprints.com. The phone number is 888-471-4252, extension 2001. Again, if you want to email us, you can go ahead and go to info@corporatecreditblueprints.com, or if you want to call the hotline, area code 614-349-8242, area code 614-349-8242. Folks, just call and give us, if you're embarrassed about whatever there is, don't worry about it. It's like no big deal. So we want to say is good night. We hope you all had fun. Thank you so much for being with us. Also, another thing, if you like the information, you can go ahead and do that for us. But also, if you want to be updated when we come on, just press the subscribe button and the black bell button, so when we come on, you get the information. I'm not concerned about the ratings. I'm just saying it's for you to get the information, because I'm going to deliver it one way or the other. So if you get the bell, you know when it come on, you can listen to it, and you can do that. But if it's some information that you at least got information for yourself, then press the like button. Thank you very much, folks. You have a great evening. Most of all, I want to say good night. And most of all, we're ending